Let's get the latest on President Obama's visit. Joining me now is our New Delhi bureau chief. You caught a glimpse of him before, Ravi Agrawal. Ravi, great to see you. I want to talk about that red tape issue in a moment, but first, let's just pull the lens back. How significant is this trip for these two countries?
Maggie, I think it's very significant. A lot of people are talking about the symbolism of this visit, and let's not diminish symbolism because it is important when it comes to these countries. When Obama came to India the last time in 2010, he talked about the two countries, India and the United States, forming the defining partnership, quote unquote, of the 21st century. That didn't happen. The partnership lagged, it stalled. Now, for the first time since 2010, we're seeing signs that the two countries are back on track to being firm partners, to forming a really great partnership in the 21st century. One of the markers of that partnership, Maggie, is the bonhomie, is the bromance that we've seen between Modi and Obama this trip. They've been shaking hands, they've been giving each other bear hugs at the airport, at press conferences. Modi's been referring to Obama by first name. They've been smiling at each other. So there's a lot of talk of the chemistry between these two leaders, and I can't stress how important that is because just 1 year ago, Modi was a man who did not have a visa to go to the United States because of his alleged role in riots, in Hindu-Muslim riots in Gujarat, the state which he governed in 2002. Now that's the rhetoric, that's the symbolism, but there are real deals from this visit as well. There has been movement, there has been progress on defense ties between the two countries, and there has been movement on a civil nuclear deal, which is very important for India because that is the bridge that India needs to move forward towards cleaner energy. Maggie.
Yeah, it certainly seems like this sort of realm of economics is where we're seeing the relationship, really take off, or at least that's the path that's getting us there. Obama met with CEOs today. Are we likely to see closer cooperation between India and America's biz community? Because for all the nice talk, there are some major differences that have been there, haven't there been?
Yeah, there are, and chief among them, it is really, really hard to do business in India. There are problems with India's intellectual property practices. There are problems with, permissions and permits to starting a business in India. Those are all issues that, about 1 hour ago were being discussed by Obama, Modi, some of the biggest top Indian CEOs, and a few American businessmen, top American businessmen who came here as well. So, one of the byproducts of their discussions will be increased ties, increased contacts, and there'll be a lot of sharing of information. What is it really like to do business in India? Hopefully, India's CEOs will be able to convince their American counterparts that this is a place that is actually optimistic about doing good business.
Yeah. Certainly best practices, I'm sure, coming up. Ravi, I mentioned earlier that interesting, both of these men came to office, on a platform of change, but change, if it comes too quickly, can be politically very dangerous. Are we going to see Modi be able to sort of cut through this bureaucracy and make very big changes to all the red tape that's involved in doing business, or is this going to be a slower process? Tell us how we should gauge our expectations.
Well, you and I have been talking about this topic for quite a while, Maggie, and we know that Modi's made a lot of promises so far. What we don't know is how he's going to fulfill them. Well, I have one update to that point. In a number of the discussions that have been taking place between American and Indian negotiators, American negotiators have walked out of these discussions a little more heartened than they were in previous years. And I've asked them, what's changed? And the one thing they've all come back to me and said is that, it seems like someone has told the Indian negotiators, go fix it. If there is one person who told them that, whether it's Modi or not, whether there's a sea change in attitude, we don't know. But clearly something is moving forward. Let's see where that goes.
Yeah, certainly, but it would be significant. Ravi, always great to catch up with you. Thank you so much.